What have you been giving them?
Barbering.
Both. No, haircut.
Making them hungry.
On my breast or formula? Gotta take this jacket off. It's not faded culture. What's going on, faded culture? Today we got a taper fade tutorial with simple steps for beginners. I hope y'all enjoy, and let's jump right into it. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. If you're new to the channel, all the steps and tools that we'll be using in this tutorial will be down in the description below. You can also use fadedculture10 at WAHL.com to get a 10% discount. And it is cold here in Texas, so go ahead and warm up those blades. Don't be mean and put that ice cold clipper against your client's head. So we're gonna go ahead and start this off by having a number 4 on top with the lever completely open. And go ahead and start cutting against the grain. As you can see, his hair is real coarse, so I'm gonna be combing it every few strokes and repassing that clipper. And when their hair is very coarse like this, I do like to come in all kinds of directions, especially sideways against the grain, just to make sure I am picking up the hair as I'm cutting it. Make sure that you are cutting according to that cowlick area. Dust them off and go over it about 2 to 3 times. And always resetting the hair with the comb. Now we're gonna come in and set in our first guideline using no guard and lever completely closed. We're gonna set our first guideline according to this temple peak area. And yes, my clippers are zero gap. There will be a video down in the description below on how we zero gap our clippers, which I highly recommend you check out. And just go over this first guideline as many times as you need to. This is your foundation, so you want to make it as clean as possible. And from here, we're gonna set in that back guideline. As you can see, this is kind of how I go about it. Although we're only gonna focus on the side taper right now, I just wanna show you how I go about setting in that back guideline. Now we're gonna go ahead and open up the lever completely and take it up about a finger's width. Always making sure that your guidelines are parallel to the one that came right before it. Now we're gonna go ahead and continue the process. Going up in numerical order, we're gonna slap on that one guard and leave the lever completely open. Again, just repeating that same process, going up about a finger's width. Next up, we got the 1.5 guard. And some people have asked if it's possible to do a fade without this 1.5 guard and the half guard, which we always use in every tutorial. And to that I say it is possible, but for the price, it is gonna save you a bunch of headaches. So I always recommend that you highly get them. And for the final guard, we're gonna use that number 2. And this should blend up right up to the 4. You should be left with this first guideline that we created with the lever closed and the second that we created with the lever open. We're gonna go ahead and start with that top one, work our way down. Using our half guard, we're gonna close the lever just slightly, putting it into that 3/4 position, which is basically somewhere in between halfway and fully open. And I'm gonna go ahead and attack that using mainly the corners of the clipper. As you can see, it is creating a faint line right above it. So we're gonna come in with our one guard, leaving the lever in that 3/4 position. Again, using mainly just the corners of the clipper, and go ahead and attack that. And if you happen to create another line with this guard, it's probably because you're not using mainly the corners of the clipper. And finally, we're left with that initial guideline, the one that we created with the lever close. This is gonna take a 3-step process. We're gonna go ahead and start with that lever completely closed. And second, we're gonna open it up halfway. And use this 3-step process as a rule of thumb. If you feel that you still need to add a 4th or 5th notch, go ahead and do so. And finally, the lever completely open. And if you didn't notice, as we worked our way down, I used mainly just the corners of the clipper. As you can see again in this 3-step process, I'm finishing it off with just the corners. And from there, you can go ahead and slap on that half guard. I like to start with the lever fully open and then just do any touch-up work if needed. Now I'm gonna come in with my trimmers in that forward position just to get that much closer to the scalp. Go ahead and turn them around and remove that faint line that created. And as you remove the bottom hair, you're gonna notice that we're left with the faint line because we used the trimmer in that forward position. We're gonna use that faint line as our guide for our electric shaver. And this is the reason why I leave shaving to the very end, just to make sure that I don't take it up any higher than I need to. I know for me in the beginning when I started cutting hair, it was very hard to take out that bald line. I would always end up just taking the fade a lot higher than I needed to or wanted to. And you're just gonna repeat those same fading steps on the other side and of course in the back. I'm not gonna repeat them myself, but I will leave them on the screen for you to see in hopes that you're slowly starting to remember these steps. But I am gonna take this time to let y'all know that for the next 24 hours that this video is up, or for the first 24 hours that this video is up, there is gonna be a 10% discount code on fadedculture.com. So all you gotta do is type in FC YouTube and you will get 10% on your entire order. Thank y'all so much for all the continuous support. I hope y'all are enjoying y'all's products to those who have been purchasing with us. And for those who haven't, now is your chance. You're getting 10% off. Thank y'all so much again, guys. Alright, now that we're going to begin the edge up, you always want to turn the client straight to you and lock eyes with them for a couple seconds. And then we're going to go ahead and start on that very center and then work your way to one side. Continuously stepping back so you can see the picture as a whole to make sure that you are even going straight. And then from there, you're going to want to recalibrate from the center and work your way to the opposite side. And this is where I bust out my Faded Culture slide razor, which is one of our newest products on our website. Super simple, super easy to use. I'm gonna show y'all a slight demonstration here. Had to change up the song with this one. Gonna go ahead and apply a little bit of shave gel in all the areas. Alright, I think that's enough of the music. Now back to the normal music. Always start by shaving with the grain and follow that up by shaving against the grain. And always using your opposite hand to help stretch out that skin. And this is a huge pro tip. Always make sure that you shave around the ear. It makes a taper pop that much more. Go ahead and dust off your client. My goal is always to have them leave the chair and have them go about their day, not worried about all this hair all over their face. Finishing it off with a little bit of enhancements, adding some to that back area. And this is your time now. If you messed up any of the haircut, just go ahead and spray enhancements. It'll cover that up. Adding a little bit of water before I come in with our matte clay. And yes, his hair is short, but I still like the texture that comes out when you apply product to short hair. And here are some before and after, guys. I really hope y'all enjoyed this tutorial. I'm honestly gonna have to take this tutorial down after about 24 hours because it looks a little good and my mom's on YouTube. I just don't want any complications. But I do hope y'all enjoyed this tutorial, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed something new. I hope y'all got something new out of it. As always, my name is Adrian Barron, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.